Lately, I have been finding my mind just swirling, my thoughts going because there's just so many things that I've got on my plate that I'm thinking about, things with my kids and, birthdays and things that are coming up and, and phone calls I need to make and appointments I need to make and what needs to happen now and what can wait and just, I it gets a little overwhelming and I'm assuming I'm not the only person that feels that way sometimes. And then yesterday in church, this 14-year-old girl was speaking and she was talking about what matters most. And I was like, that's my answer. I just need to focus on what matters most. And so, what I did, I got this. I have this planner. It's from Jody Moore, but you can do this just with a piece of paper or a different planner or whatever. But I just wanted to show you what I did. I just did sort of a brain dump, and everything that was on my mind, I wrote down whatever I felt like I needed to do or I wanted to do. Everything just went at the top, and that's just all this up here. And then down here is where, well, actually, let me back up. So once I did all that, then I can look at everything I've written down. And like I said, you just do this on a piece of paper. I can look at everything I've written down of things that I feel like need to be done. And I can look at it, and sometimes some things I can say, well, that can wait till next week or even a few weeks from now. Or this actually isn't really that important and I don't need to do this. But getting back to the what matters most, when I thought about, okay, what matters most to me, it really came down to relationships. My relationship with God and my relationship with my family are the two most important things to me. And so, looking at my list of all the things I felt like I needed to do, what would help my relationship with God and what would help my relationship with my family members. And so then I got down to where I would start scheduling in the things that mattered most to me. I also had to make sure, I mean, some things may not be as important to me, but they needed to be done and they might be time sensitive. So those things for sure get scheduled in. Things like work, I do want to have a good relationship with my boss and she might be upset if I don't show up to work. So that gets in there. But then I put in the things that mattered the most, that need to be done and that bring me joy, and then everything else can just either wait or it can fit in around those things. But it just helped me to kind of focus a little bit more on, instead of just feeling like my thoughts are flying, and having it written down gives my brain a break. It doesn't feel like it has to remember everything because I've written it down and I can just go back and look at my list. Okay, what are some of these things I need to do? And does that need to be done today? Does it even need to be done this week? Can it wait? And then I can write it next week's. And it just kind of freed up my brain a little bit, and I don't feel quite so stressed and hectic. And so I'm grateful to that girl for reminding me to focus on what matters most and make those things a priority in my schedule and in my life. So, if you are like me and feel a little scattered sometimes, and that helps you to just get it all out, just dump it all out and decide, okay, what can I let go of, and what needs to be done now, and what can wait, and what aligns with my goals of what matters the most to me that I really want to make sure is in my calendar and in my life. So, I'll talk to you later.